Good news, more progress on the democratic reform agenda in Alberta's legislature. Minister of Justice Schweitzer just passed through the ledge Bill 26, the Constitutional Referendum Amendment Act, and Bill 27 is coming through, which is the Senate Election Act. Tell us a bit about that one, Doug.
Well, you know what? More democracy for Albertans, empowering people to make decisions about the future of their province through this referendum bill. It allows us to bring forward policy initiatives as well as the constitutional initiatives that are important to Albertans.
So about 30 years ago, Alberta brought in a law to require referendums before the province would ratify an amendment to Canada's constitution. But what we've not had, at least for decades, is a law that allows for referendum on other non-constitutional issues. So for example, let's say we want to have a referendum on potentially creating an Alberta pension plan. This bill allows us to do that. Or let's say on daylight savings time, or any number of other issues.
That's so right. And as well, I mean, it allows us to have rural issues as well. Some issues don't impact the big cities and they just impact rural communities. It allows us to get specific as well when we ask those questions.
One funny side note about this, one of the funniest things I've ever seen in politics was that the official opposition in Alberta's legislature voted against the referendum bill because they said that allowing Albertans to vote in referendums on important issues was, quotes, anti-democratic. They did, didn't they?
They called it an anti-democratic power grab. I just can't fathom it. You're empowering people to make decisions on the future.
Opposite of a power grab. It's us taking government power and giving it literally to the people. And we're not done yet, because we have we're keeping a platform commitment to move towards citizen-initiated referendums. There's a committee of the legislature studying that right now. They're going to draft a bill. Doug will be introducing that in the fall. That will allow you, a certain number of Albertans, if they sign a legal petition, to force a vote on a matter of public importance. Let's say that we, the elected folks, are not listening to you. You'll be able to go over our heads directly to Albertans with the right of citizens initiative and talk about recall as well.
Well, I think too, recall as well. If you don't think that we're living up to our word as elected officials and you think that we need to go through a by-election, this bill is going to give you that power to recall us and hold us accountable. Nothing keeps a politician more accountable than making sure that you always have that thing on the side there. You make sure people can always pull you back out of your job.
Now, speaking about accountability, we also just passed Bill 27, the Senate Election Amendment Act, and this is another platform commitment to bring back Senate elections to Alberta. Tell us a bit about this, Doug.
Well, Senate elections, Alberta's been at the forefront of this issue. We've been asking for democratic reform for so long. This allows us to hold Senate elections next fall in alignment with the municipal campaigns. And it's so important because we had such a good track record of elected senators here in Alberta.
Yeah, in fact, I know some of the so-called smart people tell us you can't have elections for senators, Alberta. Well, guess what? We have had Senate elections on 3 occasions. I think the last one was in 2013. And in every one of those Senate elections, we, the people of Alberta, ended up nominating people for the Senate that were sent on, whose names were sent on from the Alberta Premier to the Prime Minister of Canada. And in every one of those groups of elected nominees, people were appointed to the Senate. Right now we have Senator Doug Black. You actually ran his campaign.
Yeah, I did. And these were the senators that were leading the charge against the anti-pipeline bills that the federal government was bringing in. So they're a huge, powerful voice for Albertans.
So 2 of Alberta's 6 senators in Ottawa right now, Senator Doug Black, Senator Scott Tannis, were elected. The previous NDP government allowed the Senate Election Act to lapse. We have renewed it, and this gives us the legal framework to hold so that you, the people of Alberta, can choose who should be your senators. Then I will send those names on to Ottawa, and the Prime Minister can decide whether or not he will respect Alberta democracy or disrespect Alberta democracy. But through this act, the Constitutional Referendum Act, the work we're doing on initiative and recall, Alberta is demonstrating that we are empowering the people to make important decisions and to hold their elected officials to account.